Okay. This is Jordannah with the Process Records, and I am here with Advaita, an all-female. What kind of band are you guys?
Psyche, garage, very atmospheric.
Cool. Psych garage. How do we say? God, I'm kind of drunk too. All right. Anyway, so melodic.
With harmonies.
There's lots of harmonies. I mean, it's very hard to pinpoint a genre for us. I don't know about you, but I'm having trouble.
I describe it as dream psych guitar lushy, or garage lushy rather.
Okay. Give me your name.
Amanda Selene.
Lonnie.
Okay, I'm with Amanda and Lonnie, and I met them after their show, and these guys fucking rock. I was really excited to see them, and they're very proficient on their instruments. Their show is great. They're playing CMJ, and I was really psyched to see them. I was shocked, so I just kind of did this fly-by-night interview, and I just wanted to ask them a couple questions. So, basically, when did you guys get together, and how did you guys get together?
Sarah and I decided to start a band almost more than 2 years ago now. It was, I guess, June of 2008.
Mm-hmm.
We got together. We started writing songs together. Then we met Lonnie one night. She actually went to high school with Sarah. I'd met her previously.
Mm-hmm.
Played drums, played with her. Megan was a friend of mine, and she played keyboards. Got together that November.
Cool. Did you guys decide that it was going to be an all-female band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why did you want to do an all-female band?
Because I knew it was time for women to take their proper place in music, because we wanted to play with other women.
Also the connection.
The connection.
The connection between women is a lot different than the connection between male and female.
I also played with a bunch of guys and was really sick of it.
Yeah.
But it's just a different dynamic though when you're playing with males. It's like sometimes there's like I don't know. I feel like you can't be it completely as deep. Well, it depends, I guess, on the person you're playing with, but as deep as you want to be with them, just because of the kind of boundaries between men and women. Whether or not they think you're like sexy or whatnot. I don't know.
Okay, explain those boundaries when it comes to playing in bands with men.
I mean, it really depends.
Guys always want to fuck the girl in the band.
You mean the guys in the band always want to fuck the girl in the band?
Both.
And the guys in the audience always want to fuck the girl in the band. Is that what you're saying?
Not always. I mean, I'm sure it changes. But I mean, I knew a guy who I used to work with who had a girl in his band, the token keyboard girl player, simply because she was a girl. They all picked on her. He would talk shit about her to me, and she left the band, but she was in it because she was a token girl.
Right. And so you think it's weird when, because I know a lot of psychedelic bands who have female bass players. What do you feel about all-male bands who completely point out the female bass player?
I think, of course there are women who really can play bass, and Kim Gordon, for instance, is amazing,
right.
And
yeah.
she was in it because she was really good at what she did.
Right.
However, I mean, I have come across bands with female bass players who, I don't know. I mean, it changes, but they can be in couples with some of the members. They usually are narrowed out as the hot chick in the band, but I do believe that women can play with men on a purely platonic level and have it be really good. But usually the ties of sexuality come into play, and that's very, very hard to escape from because we are men and women.
Yeah, that's really funny because I'm in a band with a guy, and a guy who's going to be playing drums with us asked me, "Are you sleeping with Jacob?"
No.
And I said, no. I was like, no, like, what makes you think that? So I asked another male musician friend of mine. All my friends are guys in bands, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I asked another friend, and he was like, yeah, that's a legit question, you know. So I went on, and I was like, okay, well, what about the Kills? What about the Ting Tings? What about, you know, the White Stripes? I know they were previously married, but they're not sleeping together now. You know, what about, there's bands, Dead Boy and the Elephant Men. There's all these bands that have men and women, and they weren't sleeping together, but when I was talking to the guy, he was like, yeah, they're all sleeping together. I was like, okay, well, what about the Black Keys? Are they fucking? And he was like, yeah, they're totally gay. They're totally sleeping with each other. Have you heard their lyrics? Guys are like, it's incredible. So, I just experienced that, like, I swear to God, like 2 minutes ago. So, with that, I'd like to kind of ask you about. I'm gonna swing back around to playing music with men and that dynamic in the industry. But how is dating for you guys?
I've been with someone for a year and like 4 months now. So I date him.
Okay.
I mean, I recently, a month ago, broke up with a boy that I had been seeing for 4.5 years.
Okay.
Exclusively. And now I'm newly single. It's very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you guys experienced long-term stable relationships while you're in a band. Does that change the dynamic of anything?
Well, I was gonna say it's funny because for a while I was the only one in a band. In a relationship, in a long-term relationship for a very long time, and now I'm the only one not in a relationship. So it's kind of funny in that way. But I mean, we've always had guys staring at us during sets.
Well, it doesn't.
It depends.
I don't think it changes the dynamic actually.
Within us, you mean?
I mean, yeah. In which way? Like which dynamic? Our dynamic or the band? Or
the dynamic of how men see you. When you meet a guy and it's brand new, how does it come across when they find out that you're in a band?
Oh.
I mean, when I meet a guy and they find out when I'm in a band, they usually think it's pretty cool. In terms of like having a boyfriend.
Yeah, touring and things like that. Is there any type of static or jealousy or?
There are always the relationship goals. My boyfriend happens to be a musician also. Touring is hard. He goes away a lot. I go away a lot. The last time I was on tour, we were on a break. We were still together, but like it was open. And it was only 3 weeks, so it wasn't terrible. He goes away often, but like we deal with it.
Do you think it's important to be with a man who is a musician as well? Do you think a man who isn't a musician do you think he would be able to stick through the relationship?
No. I mean, I appreciate men who play instruments also, but I kind of enjoy being with somebody that can take me out of that sphere a little bit, you know, just to be a little bit more well-rounded, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I'm personally open to all types of guys. Of course, I love the artist type, but that doesn't stay with music in particular. Like I can branch out.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it depends on the love and how strong that bond is. However, if we were to go on like a really long tour,
like 3 months or something.
3 months would probably affect a relationship. I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I really do. But then again, it really depends on the bond.
Right. Okay. A couple more questions. What I'm trying to get at is, how do you guys feel the industry is treating you? First of all, on a general level.
Do you want to take this first?
I mean, I personally haven't seen much of a difference. I know my bandmates might say differently, but I don't know. I mean, I definitely think that venues are more inclined to have us play at a venue because we're female. That's something I definitely see. In terms of, I mean, I'm trying to think of the negative side, and
well, if there's not a negative side, you don't have to, you know.
Right. I mean, I think it's definitely something that we have. I mean, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but we haven't really tried to promote the all-female kind of side of us because I'm personally not really interested in, you know, being that all-female kind of band.
Right.
Like, we're just females that play music.
Right.
So, but it just seems to always, that's kind of the thing that is interesting somewhat about us sometimes.
Right.
Which I guess isn't horrible, but I don't know.
I would have a lot to say on the subject. I think it's a negative and a positive. As she said, venues are more inclined to book us, depending. However, we've run into a lot of audience members who, at first, we played with another band, and at first they just did not take us seriously. Like they, I won't name names, but you know, we were setting up and they were hurting us. Like they were just overlooking us. I was in a conversation with them and they just kind of batted me out of it. And then after we played, he came up to us. I've known this guy for years actually, and he's like, you know what, like.
He's an idiot.
I'm really, but he's also an example, and he said this for himself. He said, you know what, like I hate to say it, but I am so conditioned by society that I really didn't take you seriously, and I didn't think that you could play that well, and you guys blew my mind, and it was really awesome. And I was like, and he's like, I'm really sorry. This is my patriarchal mindset. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I remember.
But also, like there was another sound guy at one of our sets who actually, because their shoddy bass fucked up our song, he talked into his mic, making us stop in the middle of our song, in the middle of our set, to fix it, and it was so rude. And like he I know he did that to us because he wasn't taking it seriously. And
do you think it's because you're female though?
Well, I only
or because we took really long to set up.
I only say yes because of the way he treated Sarah, who would probably be better off if she was here telling the story, but because of the way he treated Sarah in the beginning of the set.
Okay, have you guys tried to find a indie or major record label?
No, but I spent the last week at a lot of CMJ workshops, and honestly, like, everyone I spoke to was really nice to me and like really supportive and really interested in what I had.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, I'm glad that there is so many positive aspects of what you guys are doing. It's really important because you guys are really good, and I think that is a very surprising thing, you know, for a lot of people. What do you guys think about other female bands? Do you think that most female bands are at a professional level when you compare to a lot of male psych bands?
Are you speaking just in the psych realm?
Yeah, let's just go with the psych realm right now. Like, do you think that there are women who hold their own on that level? Because I mean, you know, in country and R&B, women do their thing, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and like Riot Girl.
Yeah. Right, you know, punk and things like that. But when it comes, because I'm a psychedelic, you know, you saw me, you know, I'm a psychedelic artist as well, and I find it really fucking hard in that realm because it is a very male Pink Floyd, you know, it's very male. Krautrock, exactly. Very male dominated, and I feel really upset that I couldn't get into that, you know, realm. You know, I could have, you know, done anything else, and it probably would have been easier. It's beautiful music.
But
so
yeah, I don't know any female bands that are doing that. I kind of feel bad that I don't. I mean, I guess like there's Frankie Meows, who I haven't seen live yet. But Vivian Girls are way punk though. They're not really psyche at all.
The Vandellas? Is that what you said?
No, Vivian Girls.
Oh, there are a couple bands with like females in them. You know, the Black Angels have a female drummer.
Yeah, they're
the Vandellas and the I can't think of.
I mean, specifically all girls. I haven't heard of anything aside from like Breaking It Out too. I haven't seen live yet, so I don't even. And I wouldn't even consider them like psyche really. They're more like the washed out thing that's going on.
Right.
But yeah, I can't say that I know any all girls. Of course, there's the Black Angels, the women in that, and there are of course women members. Amon Duel, for instance. But as far as like female leads.
So you guys consider yourselves the only, like, and I will say that because I travel around and I look for you guys, and I think you guys are the first kind of like all female psych band that I've found. So that's why I grabbed you guys, you know, as much as I could, as fast as I could, because you know I'm a female artist and I'm in a band with a man. I'm auditioning men. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm going to say that personally, I'm afraid to be in a female band. I've been in a couple. It's very scary.
People don't take you seriously sometimes.
Well,
it's very. Well, it's also about personal dynamics.
Yeah.
Because women are, you know, when it comes to women getting together.
Very tough.
Do you guys have a hard time getting along?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's lots of disputes, lots of things that, you know, people have to talk about a lot of the time.
It's true.
It's difficult,
hard,
but it's a great, beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it's very beautiful.
At the same time that it's hard, I am closer with these girls than I am with anyone. Like, they are my best friends, and it's through getting to know each other and like figuring out what bothers each other, like how to work on ourselves in order to better get along in the group dynamic that is so worthwhile, and we are all into that. So it's hard, but that's human relationship.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Right. Yeah, I'm scared because I'm a strong chick, and you know, it's just hard for men or women to even kind of, you know, like Jake is great and guys are great for me because they kind of let me, you know, they don't push the buttons. You know, I think men have that intuition to not push the girl buttons.
Yeah, it takes a relaxed personality and a, you know, like everybody has to be flexible.
Right.
Relaxed, but motivated, but at the same time, you know, still wants to, you know, make things work. You have to have both sides of the spectrum in order to make things work.
I've worked with guys too, and I don't know, actually, like, I think you can have the same sort of issues. For me, it's easier to be and stand with women because we're so accepting of the issues. But I mean, I do like working with guys. I can't say I don't. It's just it's definitely different. But I trust these girls more.
Right, it's protection. Also, you know. Yeah. Okay, I think, you know, that's great. For now, you know, I was kind of hoping to get Sarah in here. It was actually her boyfriend was the one who said, you know, you should totally talk to her because she's always, you know, talking to me about, you know, the pain that she goes through when it comes to dealing with the industry, and I can't relate. You know, he told me, he said, you know, I can't understand. I get offended because, you know, it's like she's putting me down, but I know she's not. You know, so I think I'm doing this because I want women to have an outlet. There are some women who I've actually personally have had very traumatic, dangerous experiences because I've, you know, dealt with major label situations and things like that. So I think I want a platform for women who are happy in the industry, and I want a platform I just want a platform for women who you know, who have had you know, experiences on all spectrums. So you know, soon, you know, I definitely want to get you guys all together.
I'd actually want to know your experiences, because just these past 2 days have opened my eyes, and we haven't been a band for that long, so we haven't approached labels. But I met so many industry people, so I'd really like to know your experience.
Yeah, I think, well, I've done my own interviews, and I, as the interviewer, I don't want to, you know, put my personal, so when I turn this off, you know, we can talk for a second, but, you know, this is not about me. You know, the men already know. I've put myself in a position where people know where I'm at when it comes to my issues with the industry, and they know what I want to do, and what I want to do is reach out to women, and so that's what I'm doing, and so that's what they expect me to do. So it's very important, you know, but yeah, I'm gonna shut this off, and we were with give me the name of the band again.
Advaita.
I'm drunk, you know. Advaita.
I mean, well, I just want to add one more thing. I mean, honestly, what I think is I think that we have an advantage.
Okay, girl.
For being female.
I think right now.
Right now we have an advantage.
It's a good time, yes.
Because we're female, yes, and no, we should not use that as like our shtick at all, ever. But we are good at playing our instruments, and we just happen to be female, and I think it really works for us.
As I've been saying
really
for years, that our generation is the generation that's going to make a difference, and it's going to be led by women. So